Ndị be anyị kenekwanụ m unu. Anyị sị ka ụbọchị nke taa mara na anyị na mma. Anyị sị ka nke onye chiri ya zerekwa. Dịka o si dị ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị si na wetara nye bụ ozi gbasịta maka ebe ife na-eme n'obodo nọ n'ime ya, dịka unu anụ ka o si ada, gbasịta maka nnwere onwe a na-azọ n'ala Igbo, maka mkpagbu na ajọ omume a na-emesi ndị Igbo. Ebe ife ka anyị na-wetara n'iru akwụkwọ ọzọ dịka ibia bụ na nke ụbọchị izi gị na-esore ka gbarụ ketụsa ya bụ ozi. If I will tell you Nero according to one of the Biafran activists, quote, Ndi Igbo react to this interview on international media and global media. Nnamdi Kanu's release, another hidden secret release that is going to shock you people because so many people are manifesting over there. And how true is this? As a Nigerian lawyer, react to injustice concerning Nnamdi Kanu and Biafrans. Biko ge Jumakia we bia na wuru chi n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị ga-esi ya bụ ife ka anyị ya tia gbasara maka ya bụ ife. Maka nwere onwe ndị Igbo adịgo nso. The whole world is talking about it and the whole nation is seeing the injustice against ndị Igbo. All right, over to you, sir.
Threat to other suspects in the common cell.
Now, I want to come on the path of the death certificate that was presented in court. Interestingly, the court has admitted Gulak's death certificate right now as an evidence against Nnamdi Kanu. My question now would be, what do you think this would mean to the integrity of the legal process of this particular case? And of course, do you think that it's going to set a very dangerous precedent for a court of that jurisdiction to admit a death certificate of someone who has died into a case that has been ongoing for the longest of time?
You see, I'm not a lawyer, and at the risk of violating court rules, which presupposes that whatever we say out of a court in an ongoing trial is sub judice.
Yeah.
But I want to say that we have had such cases in the past. Sarowiwa was not present when they killed some Ogoni leaders. But because Sarowiwa was alleged to have instigated that attack, it was one of the evidences used against him in court during his trial. So, as flimsy as it looks, it is the responsibility of the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu to ensure that that evidence is shut down. It's not just, it's a potent evidence in court. I've seen precedents like that.
All right, now let's x-ray this. When this happened in 2021, it happened on May 30th, which is Biafra Heroes Day. And I'm sure you remember, you know, the things that happened, because Gulak was said to be going to the airport after an official assignment, and then the driver took, you know, the wrong turn, took a wrong route. Now he was going without an escort. I mean, just to put this out there for the benefit of of the viewers, he took a wrong turn, and then he was waylaid and killed. Now, IPOB at the time, Imam Powerful, on behalf of IPOB, denied any involvement in all of this. The security architecture blamed this on unknown gunmen. And we also know that a few killings also happened in 2021 involving these unknown gunmen. One of them would be the death of Chike Akoili. I think that's his name. Dora Akoili's husband, yeah, who was shot, you know, point blank. Even though they said it was a mistaken identity for that one. But there were lots of, you know, attacks like of such in the southeast at that time. Now, what is the implication of pointing this or putting this on the feet of Nnamdi Kanu? What is the implication of this for his trial?
You see, like I said earlier, that a trial of this nature is a delicate one, I must confess to you. And the law does not recognize sentiments. Sentiments can be in the public domain. but in the courtroom, it's hard evidence that will be used to determine the outcome of a case. You see, most of these issues, it is the responsibility of the state to present evidence. And it's also the responsibility of the legal team of
now in as much as
accused to ensure that those evidence put up against their clients does not avail conviction. And so it's still a legal battle, and there's little somebody like me that I'm not learned.
Oh no. We are not looking at it from the legal perspective, and of course we will not want to.
There's no way we not look at it from legal perspective. Because the issue here is that somebody's life is at stake.
Indeed.
You know, and I've always had this emotional sentiments to Kanu, because I look at it beyond the trial. I look at it from the prism of the fact that he has been denied so many things: access to his children, access to his wife.
Let's X-ray a few things now. Kanu made some statements from his base at the time. Would you say those statements were enough to incite violence? Because what it seems like now is the violence that has been perpetrated in the southeast is being blamed on Kanu. Do you think those statements of, some statements that he made, I can't really quote them now, were enough, considering the fact that some other Nigerians have made similar statements calling for uprising? And, would we say they also...
The funny thing about the law is that 200 people may commit a similar crime. If they are not caught, it doesn't mean that law does not exist.
But the part that some Boko Haram were de-radicalized after being caught is another conversation we're not having, Mr. Fanimo. Do you think that this isn't one selective judgment, as it were? Because this overall is practically what it's turned out to be, according to some quarters. Because some separatist group as well have voiced their displeasure about the ongoing situation of the country. So if we can de-radicalize some Boko Haram members who were caught, what is the issue with the Nnamdi Kanu situation?
You see, we had the Niger Delta guys that held this country by the jugular, and eventually they were given reprieve through amnesty.
Right.
Some of them are pilots now. Some of them are accountants. Some of them are sea welders and all that. And we also have some other groups that have been. Look at OPC. There was a time OPC was also angling for the soul of the state, and Gani Adams and the rest were caught. You see, there is a portion in the Bible in Matthew, I think Matthew 15, maybe chapter 20, verse 26 or so. I say, if your traducer arrests you, settle with him before he takes you to court, because you may land in jail.
No, that's
you understand why I'm saying this is that honestly, if you ask me, I would have thought that this case shouldn't even proceed to conclusion, to the extent that if there is conviction, either way, if Kanu is convicted, it's not a win-win situation. If it's discharged and acquitted, it brings emotional sentiment that, okay, when you knew that this guy had no case to answer, why did you keep him all this while?
Interesting.
Right.
You understand? So it's not a win-win situation. And so for me, beyond this court trial that is almost turning into a drama, endless one-season film, isn't it better for us to find political solution to this, and let's get out of this and then move on? Because we can't continue to have things that would divide us more when we're supposed to be united as a nation.
Yeah.
Okay. And this case is one of these things that could divide us, because you can win a war, you may not win the battle. You can also win the battle, you may not win the war.
Interestingly, indeed.
That's my route, and it has always been my route.
And if you check it out, also some Nigerians are beginning to also say what you're saying now, given the fact that Kanu made a statement in broadcast, like some person said, But we have some Nigerians who are still in Nigeria who said they'll make governorship ungovernable for the the then president of Nigeria, and they did that. We saw that come into fruition and all that. But yeah.